it's Cindy here with Stampin' Chick Creations. I was just doing my speed test because as I was sitting here, I thought, oh my goodness, I haven't done my speed test. Now it's telling me that my internet connection is not very strong, but my speed test tells me that it's okay. So, welcome. If you are new to my channel or if you're watching me on Facebook, pop in and say hello. I should be on my Cindy's customer page. I should be in my group and I should be live on YouTube. So I should be in 3 spots right now. My page is new this week. I've decided to see if I could safely go back to doing some posts and some videos on that page. I was getting a lot of spam and a lot of fake friend requests and a lot of people joining that page and that kind of thing that I kept having to go in to block. So I just wanted to freeze that avenue for a while. It seems to have calmed down with all that junk going on. So I've kind of brought it back a little bit. So we'll see how we make out. So if you are new to my channel or wherever my group, wherever you're watching me from, welcome and thank you for joining me tonight. I am Cindy and I am the face behind Stampin' Chick Creations and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I am based in Ontario, Canada, and I realize there's something really funky going on with my hair. So I live in a small community called Brigden outside of Sarnia in Ontario, and I live on a farm and I work full-time and I have 2 kids and very busy life. If you are not new, you know all about me and how crazy these Mystery Mondays can be. Hello, Miss Paula. So thank you for coming back week after week. I do have a lot of technology issues as far as my internet not working. And unfortunately being out in the country, we only have one service provider we can use. So knock on wood, fingers crossed, it has been decent the last few weeks. I hope I didn't just jinx myself by saying that. Okay, so before we get started, just a couple things I want to make everybody aware of. Number one is the online exclusives have now gone live, and you can find those on my website. And you can find my website by following the Linktree logo or the Linktree address that's here in the bottom left-hand corner. Might be right-hand corner on yours, but on the left-hand corner on mine. So you can find it there. I will let you know that a few of the items are, you're cutting in and out. A few of the items are not available, like the punches are not available, that kind of thing. So if you don't see it on there, it's sold out, possibly coming back. Okay. Number 2 is I have some classes coming up. And hi, Miss Linda. And I have actually, I know I posted the recap, I think it was yesterday, maybe Saturday after my all occasions class. I don't remember. But the one I really want to bring to your attention the most is really the how to use the vellum and window class. And the reason I'm really focusing on that one is because it's not until March 23rd, which I know you think is so far away. However, I am out of town Monday, Tuesday, and the class is Wednesday. So I am literally driving in from Kitchener and then doing that class Wednesday evening. So I will have 0 time to prep ahead of that class, which means I have to push my prep time ahead. So I have given you all the deadline of tomorrow, March 7th, to register for that class. And the reason I've done that is because if you're ordering product, I need to order the product in if you're taking that option. If you're not taking that option, I still need to prep your cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 cards. I think it was 3, maybe 4, but I think 3 cards using the window sheets and 3 cards using the vellum. And there are 3, like each will have different techniques. Okay, so you're getting 6 with window sheets, but we'll do 3 with vellum, 3 with window sheets. So again, that is March 23rd, and I know it's during the week, and I'm hoping the weather holds off and is okay for us that night. But like I said, I will be getting in from Kitchener probably at about 5 or 6, and the class is at 7 or 7:15. So I have 0 time to prep. So I really need to focus on getting that card class ready this week. Next week is a very busy week for me as well. work-wise and personal. So I need to allow myself enough time to prep. Okay. I know when you come to class, you probably think, oh, this is easy peasy. She has everything ready. It is easy peasy for you. But there's a lot of work and prep that goes in to prepping those classes ahead of time. Okay. And making sure that everything's there and everything's lovely for you so you can enjoy your time. So if you are ordering product, you need to tell me that. If you're not, you need to let me know that as well. So currently I think I have 2 people signed up. So if you think you've signed up for that class and you're not one of the 2 that I've talked to, like Saturday, for example, you need to get in touch with me because I don't have you down. So you will see going forward that things are going to change. There will be a Google form that needs to be filled out for all classes. And if the form is not filled out and submitted, you're not registered for the class, because what's happening is it's far too difficult for me to keep track of people verbally telling me they want to come to class and people messaging me and people texting me and people, commenting on a post and whatever. So just to make sure that everybody is aware, it's going to be a Google form that I can just pull up because when I have things going on, it gets complicated sometimes. All right, there we go. That's it. That's all I got for you. No, I'm just kidding. Let's make some cards. Let's make some cards. All right. You guys ready? So I prepped this card today. No, I prepped it yesterday. I did a sample yesterday. And then I actually just posted the cards today. So that looks very small to me. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Okay. All right. So what do we need? We need a regular base. This is my chicken scratch. This is what I like write down so that when I go to type it out for you guys, I know what I'm telling you you need. So you need a standard card base. So I'm going to start with this one. Okay. So you need a standard card base. Nothing fancy with that one. I am using, hello, Janet. I am using Soft Succulent. So FYI, friends, Soft Succulent is retiring at the end of this book. I would strongly suggest, if this is one of the colors that you adore, like I do, as well as Evening Evergreen, you stock up on the paper, the re-inkers, the markers, the blends, all the things now, okay? Before they go out of stock, because I will tell you these 2 colors, Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen, will go out of stock. So if you joined my In Color Club, you would have the re-inker and the markers and the blends, but you may be getting low on your cardstock. Hi, Kathy. So I've had a lot of people asking me if I'm going to be doing the In Color Club again. I absolutely am. And I also have a couple more classes that are very unique, that are very different, that you're going to want to keep your ear to the ground for because you're going to love them. I'm so excited about them, actually. Okay, so then I told you needed 4 pieces of Designer Series paper that are 1/2 inch by 5.5-ish. Like if they're not exact, like I see here, I've cut one a little bit longer than, or a little bit shorter than the rest, which is fine because we're going to trim it down anyway. I'm using the same paper. I'm just going to use the front and the back. You don't have to. You can use something completely different. Totally up to you. And then I told you needed a card base that's a solid color and it's 2 1/4 by 4. How about I put this like here in the middle so you can see 2 1/4 by 4. And then you need your white piece that is 2 inches by 3 3/4. Okay. Now, and an embossing folder, I told you. A sentiment for your center fold or your focal point. I just remembered as I was talking, this is what happens. This is like a total squirrel moment. So this is what my family experiences on a daily basis. So as I was looking here at this, it reminded me that this is orange. This is an orange sticky, which reminded me I had another orange sticky that had everybody's names that completed the Mystery Monday for last week. And I am sending you each out a gift in the mail, probably an embellishment. I have to see what's available. It's going to be something fun, but I have 13 people I am sending treats out to this week. Or maybe the end of this week. I got to get 13 packages put together. So if I don't have your address, which I think I have everybody's except for one, so I will reach out to that individual and make sure that I get that address, okay? So, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Okay, what do we need here? If you have a silicone mat, I'm going to suggest that you grab it. I did not tell you this in the prep notes. My apologies. I was not really thinking. So I'll give you a second. Find your silicone mat. And the reason I say use your silicone mat is because glue does not stick to your silicone mat, correct? So whenever we're doing any adhering of paper, it's a good opportunity to use your silicone mat. Okay? So I'm just taking all the glitter and treasures that are on mine off. All right. So I'm going to promise you, stick with me on this, guys. I'm going to promise you this card is going to look ugly until we're done. And then it's going to be a masterpiece, okay? All right. So I need my adhesive. I am going to use liquid adhesive for this. I'm going to use my bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, oh my, how come? If you purchased one of my toolkits this week, you have a bone folder. Yours won't say center stage because this is an exclusive one that the leaders received. Mine's been very loved. But grab your bone folder, crease your paper, okay? That's very important, although I don't always do it. Do as I say, not as I do, right? All right, so then what I want you to do is I want you to decide what side of the paper you're going to use. Now, to do this, you do not have to do them all the same. You do not have to alternate like I'm going to. It's total preference, and we're going to do 3 of these. So if you don't like how the first one turns out, you're okay, because you have 2 more that you can actually prep and kind of do better on. So kind of like the ladies that came to class on Saturday that we had to reschedule. And we finally were able to get together on Saturday, almost barely, but we did. You know, you did 2 cards of each one. So you could do one way, one the other. Same thing here. You can do one card one way, do the next one a different way. And the last one, I'm actually going to do a little bit different because of the stamp that I plan on using. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lay my strips. So this is that paper that goes with the fitting florets paper. It looks like a painting. It looks like acrylic paint. Sorry, my words are gone today. So I am actually going to put these on a diagonal. So my card is closed, and I'm going to leave a very small space. Don't ask me measurements because I don't measure very well. I don't know my measurements. I know, the lady that can't cut a straight line. Yes. So I'm going to rotate these through. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell you, when I first did this card, I was like, oh, I don't like this card. We're not doing that card. We're absolutely not doing that card. It's absolutely ugly. And then when I got it done, I was like, oh, I actually don't mind this card. So kind of similar to last week's card. Not really though. Okay. Stay with me on this because I'm going to tell you it's going to look ugly right now. But I think you're going to like it. And I think I like this because it is a fantastic way to use your scraps. Okay. Sometimes we have those little bits. We can put them on our envelopes. We can put them inside our cards. Yes, we can do all those things. But we still have them, right? And what a waste to throw these out. So the way things are nowadays, we need to spread our funds and our supplies as far as we absolutely can. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Is that blurry or is it just my eyes? I can't even tell anymore. I'm wearing the wrong glasses. I've discovered that my eyes are extremely bad when I'm not wearing my computer glasses. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to put my adhesive. I'm going to slide this over here. Put my adhesive. I'm not going to go all the way to the end because we know it's going to go off the page, right? So I'm going to go here. And where you start this on your card, there's not really a right or a wrong, okay? I'm not starting at the top and I'm not starting at the bottom. I'm starting kind of like a little bit below halfway, okay? And then I'm going to do my second strip. If I could get my fingers to work, would be fantastic. Okay. And again, leaving a very, very small space between strip 1 and 2. I'm just going to move those other ones out of the way. Sure that your glue goes all the way to the ends, but not like gushing out to the ends. And this is where the silicone mat is very nice, because if it does go over and sticks, it's not going to stick to your surface. It's going to stick to the, oh, I don't know, Kathy. Is anybody else finding that I'm freezing quite a bit? It could be Facebook, Kathy, because I know that on Facebook, it does tend to freeze a lot more than on YouTube. And I think that's because Facebook does not love live videos. So maybe hop on to YouTube, unless somebody else is having the same issues, even on YouTube. It could be my end. Honestly, I can't even tell you anymore. I do know that when I go back to watch the video after people tell me it's frozen or it's freezing or whatever, I do know that when I go back to watch, the video is fine. It just happens to be the live feed that it just doesn't like for some reason. Okay, so there's my third piece. And then my last piece, now this is where we want to make sure that we're paying attention. If you're rotating, that you're going back and forth, because I'm talking and I could have easily messed that up and just done them. And I mean, really, nobody's going to know except for me, right? Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a second. I'm actually going to grab my crappy scissors here because I don't want to use my good paper snips on this. So if you got one of our kits, you also got your paper snips in there. Okay. So I'm going to put my lid on my glue. I feel like this screen is very blurry tonight, and I don't know why. Okay, so here is the back. I'm going to actually just take my baby wipe and do that just to speed this up. Okay, so I'm done with my silicone mat for right this second. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead. I'm going to take my crappy scissors, because of course we don't use our good scissors on glue, right? And I'm just going to actually trim this off, the excess. Now, sometimes it's easier to actually go like to the back. Now, when you do this, please be careful that you're not cutting your paper, okay, like the edge of your paper. So if you're doing this with your paper trimmer, you're going to end up probably with glue on your blade. So I would probably not advise that, but you can do as you want. So here we go. And then I'm going to cut this one off as well. So most of us have glue scissors, which are scissors we only use for things like this that have glue on them. Okay. Is anybody else having any issues with the internet freezing on them? Am I still live? Yes, it says I'm still live. Okay. So this is what I have. Okay. It's not beautiful, eh? It's really not. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this embossing folder, which is one of the new ones. It comes in a pack of 3. It's one of the online exclusives, and it comes with the Irresistibly Blooms suite. I did showcase this on my new product video for the online exclusives, and I've used it a couple times. So it just kind of has like a, I don't know, a pattern. Don't ask me what kind of a pattern. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run this through the entire card front. Okay. Now, I could have very well have run this through without the paper on, just done the back before I had adhered my paper. But I really, really like the look of when you run it all through. So I'm going over here off camera. And I brought my die cutter back into my room because it was out in the kitchen from Saturday's event. It's going to clink. Okay, am I still here? Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. So in all the chaos today, it appears that my vehicle as well has decided it's Monday and it doesn't want to work anymore. And we think it's quite broken, like it cannot drive it broken. So my husband took it today because I was off. And he came home and said, yeah, no, there's something seriously wrong with the car. To the point that I was like, great. So I don't have a vehicle right now. Just awesome. Not a good time to be needing a vehicle. Okay. So can you see this? Can you see the pattern? And so it's taken this pattern, my DSP pattern, that was already incredible, and just jumped it up a notch. Okay. So kicked it right up. So then I'm going to take my solid piece. So I decided on Evening Evergreen. This is one of my absolute favorite colors. And I think you all heard the word, probably, that there's a color refresh coming. And so what does a color refresh mean? It's been about 5 years since we did one last, maybe 6, but I think it's 5. And so what happens is that, you know, our in colors that we have every year, well, those are actually like trial and error colors is really essentially what those are. And so what Stampin' Up! Does is they use those as, you know, to kind of get a reaction as to what's popular, what's not. So about every 5 years, they do what we call a color refresh. And what that means is that they will retire old colors and they will bring back possibly some of the new colors or some of the ones that were in colors. So you'll notice in the Irresistible Blooms bundle that I showcased, there is Lost Lagoon and oh my gosh, there's another color that I loved. What the heck was it? Names escaped me all of a sudden. Anyway, it is coming back. Okay, so I'm super excited, but I'm also scared because I'm worried that some of my favorite colors might retire, which is always sad to see new, like our favorites go, right? But it's necessary. So I'm hoping that some of our favorites will stay. I would love to see Soft Succulent Evening Evergreen stay, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm using Quiet Meadow is what I'm using tonight. And this is an older stamp that I'm trying to pull out some of my older stamps that I haven't used in a long time. I get so involved in brand new stamps that I forget about all my lovelies. So I'm going to stamp this just in black. So I'm just going to stamp that like that. Okay. See how pretty that is? And then I'm going to come in with some of my yellow, and I'm just going to color some of these. Familiar with our blends? Oh my goodness gracious, oh my. Why not? Because these things are the most incredible things I've ever had. I actually was using, oh, the cat's in the room. I was actually using my Stampin' Write markers the other day. I haven't used those in a long time. And I forgot what a difference there is. I mean, the Stampin' Write markers have their purpose. They absolutely 110% do. But the blends just a wow. Just an absolute wow. So, are you guys all still with me? Is anybody creating along with me? How many of you guys are creating along with me? I guess I shouldn't say guys. That's not actually politically correct. I've been reminded. Are you folks creating along with me? I need to replace this marker. Like desperately need to replace this marker. I'm going to grab one of these instead. Oh, this one's not much better. Okay, so note to self, Cindy, replace your yellow blends immediately. Okay, can I get some thumbs up if people are still with me? I'd love some hearts, but like I'll take thumbs up. Like girl's not even picky here. Is any, yes. Oh, hi, Belva. So is anybody having any issues with it freezing? I always worry about that. I know there's a little bit of a delay. So I'm just kind of going in with my darks. I'm spending more time on this first card than I normally do. You know that, right? My apologies, actually. Because I know watching me color is not very much fun at all. It's just this one is just so fine. That I want to kind of get it. Oops, that's an ugly one. Okay, I'm going to stop. I can fix this off camera after. It was cutting out on YouTube also. Oh, was it? Oh, shoot. Maybe it is the internet. So frustrating, you know? Okay. All right. I'm going to stop right there. Okay. So yeah, so if you're one of those lucky people that got all the in colors during the club, good on you. If you missed out, don't do that again. You're going to want to join the new club. Because this way you get all your supplies. You get each color, each month you get a color. It's 5 months. And it's a great way to build your in color collection without buying it all in one swoop. Okay, so here's this. Now I need to add some bling bling to this. Now, all right. So we still have people here. I'm going to put a little butterfly and a little butterfly and a little butterfly. Now, I am not putting a sentiment on this card on purpose, okay? I'm going to leave this blank for now, but if you wanted to, you could put a sentiment right here. So I had today somewhere, oh, here maybe. Yeah, I could have just put my sentiment here, like cut it down, obviously, right? To make it a little bit thinner. Well, that's not much thinner. And then I could just make a flag and put it right there. Okay, so there is my first card. I know it doesn't look very beautiful on camera, but I'm telling you in person. Oh, and then, oh yes, of course, we need to bring in the Wink Estella. So this is the, I did this one yesterday. Same layout, different design. So you'll see this one, I went up higher than this one. So same idea. And of course we need to put our Wink Estella on here. And if you don't have a Wink Estella, holy smokes, why not? I put this stuff on everything. Everything. Okay? So it just gives you a little bit of bling bling. Okay. So that's card number 1. Card number 2. I have to remember not to get startled because my husband's going to have to come pick me up because he had to drop me off. Because you can't even drive my car apparently right now. It's every few seconds. Oh, shoot. Well, maybe I should talk slower. What do you think? And then you wouldn't miss out as much. All right. So that was Quiet Meadow. I'm putting this in here. Okay. Done. Bam. Okay. What about my second card? Let's do this one. Now this one, I'm not even sure how this one's going to turn out because I'm going to do something different. Yeah, it must have been Facebook, eh, Kathy? Yeah, I don't know. Facebook's very finicky, like very finicky. Okay, so this one I'm using soft sea foam, not a color. Could be snow and ice impact. Yeah, that's possible. It's cutting out on YouTube too. It might be the internet then. You'll have to come back and watch me again and leave lots and lots of comments. So when you comment, just so everybody knows, I ask you to comment and I ask you to share the, hi Becky. I ask you to comment and I ask you to share the video because that helps reach more people and it helps others find the video. So that's why I like it when you go ahead and you share that so that it pops up in the feed on YouTube as well. Okay. All right, so I'm using soft sea foam for this one, and I'm using, this is the Irresistible Blooms paper, and I'm going to go back and forth. This is very, very subtle. Cutting out on YouTube too, Cindy. It's got to be the internet, guys. Ugh. I think I jinxed myself. Okay. Because when you go back to watch it after, it doesn't cut out. Okay, so this one's very, very subtle, this paper. And it's kind of why I really like it is because it's not a like in your face type paper, but it's enough that it could be used for a variety of occasions. Like it could be a sympathy card. It could be a birthday card. It could be a get well soon card. So many things. Okay. So if your video's cutting out, please come back and watch me because I do want to make sure that you see the whole video, obviously. I want you to see all the cards, which I will post afterwards as well. But I also want to remind you that I need you to post your pictures. So I had 13 people take advantage of the incentive last week. And so I'm going to send you all embellishments or a gift. I'm going to say a gift because I can't guarantee it's going to be an embellishment. I should have lots of embellishments here, but so then what I'm going to do this week is post your picture, I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to put your names in a draw, and I have all sorts of stamp sets here. It's a blurry screen. Oh, crap. What if I go down? Does that... Will it help? Okay, let me try turning this off. See if that helps. I'm going to put all your names in a draw, and I'm going to draw for some stamp sets. So I have some extra stamp sets here that I would love for you to take and win. So you're going to ask me which ones those are. I don't know, because they're in the other room. I have a box of them. And I have discovered I have got way too many things in this house. So we need to get them out. So this is a Help Cindy Clear Out Her Studio project. Okay. Now, I am going to run this through the embossing folder. So for this embossing folder, I'm going to use this one, which is another one of those 3-parted. Now I'm buffering on YouTube. Oh, goodness. Okay. It's got to be the internet. Come back and watch me after if you're buffering. You can watch me on a replay. Just be sure to comment so I know you were here. So this is another one of those, the 3 package embossing folders. So I'm going to run this through now. Yeah, technology is not my friend, honestly. And it's funny because there's people I know in Brigden in the community just not far from me. They're constantly complaining they have no internet whatsoever. And they are on cable internet. So I'm grateful we at least have internet. It's probably not the best, but I guess that's one of the things we have to put up with being, like, I'm the only house on my road where I live, which is around the corner from the studio. Okay, I did not put, so my plate was not even. So here is much more vibrant than here. It's bad both ways. Sandra, do you mean like it's bad both ways, like on YouTube and on Facebook? So I'm going to put this here. So you'll see that once I emboss this, my paper almost vanishes right into the cardstock. Okay, I'm going to carry on, guys. If it's being crappy for you, please come back and watch the video where you left off. You can always jump ahead. You just never know if I'm going to throw out a surprise or not, and I would hate for you guys to miss that. Or if there's like a blooper, right? Okay. So now I'm going to try using, and I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I am going to try to use a Bottled Happiness as my stamp of choice. So what am I going to do here? I don't know. We're about to find out. I'm really going to wing this because I don't know if this is going to work or not. So I'm going to use Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen is what I'm going to use. Soft Succulent. Linda says, I'll watch tomorrow. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, that's really frustrating, guys. But be sure to come back if it's being difficult for you. It said my internet was good when I went on. It didn't say like snazzy or anything, but it did say it was good. So, so this is, what did I say is called? Bottled Happiness. So I'm going to stamp this very close to the bottom. Okay. So this is a two-step stamping stamp. So Soft Succulent is the lighter color. I'm going to clean this off. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the outline. I'm going to do this one in Evening Evergreen. Just try to make sure everybody's still here with me. And I haven't frozen. I haven't froze. I can't even speak anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to go directly over my bottle with the Evening Evergreen. Okay. So that's what I have so far. Now I need to pick some flowers, some colors to use for my flowers. So I'm going to use these. So does anybody want to throw out any color combinations you think I might want to use? I'm going to need two different colors, a light and a dark is what I'm going to need. I'll put this one on here. This one goes like this. Anybody? I'm actually thinking Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather is what I'm thinking. And the reason I'm saying that is because, oh, actually, I'm not going to use Highland Heather because I think my Highland Heather is actually dry. So I'm going to use Fresh Freesia and Gorgeous Grape. So I am going to do my Fresh Freesia first with my bolder image. Still here, but freezing a lot. Ugh. It's got to be the stupid internet, honestly. So frustrating. Okay, so here is my Fresh Freesia. I have no idea what this is going to look like, guys. So you guys are in for a surprise. Okay. So that's my Fresh Freesia. This might be a bomb or it might be a, oh my goodness, I love it. Who knows? We're about to find out. And this is Gorgeous Grape. So this is also two-step stamping. Sorry, I'm just trying to line it up. I feel like my phone just buzzed. I don't know if I lined that up right, to be quite honest. I kind of got a little bit distracted. Oh yeah, I totally did not line that up anywhere close to being right. So we will flip that over. I got distracted. You know what? How about for simplicity, we just use one of the other ones? Because if it's freezing, I don't like that. That makes me sad. Actually, it makes me downright angry, but we're just going to pretend that I'm happy. Right? Let's just pretend.